Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, it's getting on quite late in the day for me in terms of recording. The details aren't out in full yet about the budget. Some details have been released. So we're going to do a short video here now, just about the one thing that we definitely know for sure that is important, that needs to be discussed. And I'm going to do a full video tomorrow, all on the budget with all the details. We can discuss that there and see what's going on, see how it affects people, and really what the horror story of all the cuts will be. But that will be for tomorrow. But getting on to what we've got here today is basically this video is about the tax rise that's been imposed. Shona Robertson has gone through with what she was told what she must not do, but what else has she got? She's too stupid to work out the implications. So she's gone ahead with installing yet another tax band, the 6th tax band that you've got in Scotland, and it's at 45%, and it affects people who are in that sort of professional range, people who can quite easily get up and leave the country, people who can arrange for their tax affairs to become ever so more tax efficient, shall we say. And worse, of course, is she's just frozen the thresholds. This is taxing by stealth, and this will put a lot more people into the upper tax bands. It's not good, and it will affect people who are not that well off, shall we say. Comfortable, but not by any means rich. I think she has inadvertently handed the baton to Kate Forbes, who will now, I believe, start running and go all the way, I think, with a charge for the leadership of the party. And if that's the case, then obviously Robinson's out. Kate Forbes doesn't want anyone that stupid in her cabinet. It's all going to be a very interesting next few days, I think. But we'll have a look at this one now. We're running on a bit here. We'll have a look at this one now, see what's being said, see where we're going with it, and see how bad the implications are for people who are even possibly just on a moderate wage. They'll be paying so much more now than anyone in England. Like I say, it may even lead to behavioural change and people leaving the country. Who knows? Here you go. So as I say, there's very little detail at the moment, so we will cover that, as I say, tomorrow when all the details are out. But this really is important. So they're calling it the nightmare before Christmas for Scots, as Shona Robertson confirms tax hikes for thousands and blames the UK government for it. Because of course she does. It's the UK government's fault that the SNP have overspent millions on all those foreign embassies and all those nice shiny brochures and all the spin doctors and the private investigators, etc., etc. That's all Westminster's fault that they've done that. Of course it is. Nobody believes them anymore. They always say it's Westminster's fault, even when it quite clearly isn't. The only trouble is there's enough stupid people out there who will believe them and still vote for the SNP. It's like turkeys voting for Christmas. The only thing is, of course, that your average SNP voter tends not to earn anything approaching enough to actually pay tax, because they're as stupid as the politicians. Anyway, the Finance Secretary confirmed a new income tax band and a freezing of the higher rate, meaning everyone earning more than $43,000 will now have to pay even more tax, opening up the big divide between England and Scotland, a divide that is so easily closed simply by moving your address south of the border. And of course some will physically move, some will arrange for addresses to shift while they still retain work in Scotland, and so forth. There are many ways around this, and of course, being very dumb, Shona Robertson doesn't realise how easy it is. She doesn't understand that people will look to become tax efficient. It's called behavioural change. It's all part of the Laffer curve. Not that she's ever heard of it. Woman too stupid to do her own shoelaces up. Bet she's wearing slip-ons. And probably different pair and 2 left feet. Remember Diane Abbott doing that? Couldn't wear the same pair of shoes. Again, not very bright. Anyway, Shona Robertson confirmed a nightmare before Christmas for thousands of Scots as she is raiding pockets to fill the £1.5 billion black hole that they created. And struggling hospitality businesses have been ignored, as there will be no tax relief for them, even though the Westminster government gave millions upon millions of pounds to the SNP to help out exactly that. But the SNP spent it elsewhere rather than where it was meant. Perhaps next time Westminster will give it directly to the companies, and that will really annoy the SNP. A new 45% tax band will be introduced for people earning 75 to 125k. These are the sort of people like headmasters, dentists, consultants, professionals, people who can go and find a job elsewhere with their freely transferable skills. And they will, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you go and move to somewhere to save thousands upon thousands of pounds in tax? Poor old Shona. It's very hard going through life when you are ultimately as stupid as she is. Anyway, this will grow the tax divide with the rest of the UK even further, with Scotland now having 6 income tax bands compared to just 3 in England and Wales. The Finance Secretary admitted that this would hit some hard-working families, but insisted those with the broadest shoulders need to pay more. Well, no, they're already paying way more than they need to because of the SNP and its desire and lust for money to spend on independence, that wet dream that will never ever happen. The higher rate threshold was also paused, meaning that the likes of teachers and NHS staff will also have to pay more. Anyone earning over 43,000 will now be paying significantly more tax than before, and it is a much, much wider gap, of course, than with the rest of the UK. Ms Robertson said that this would add 307 million to the public purse, but it won't. It won't hit anything close to that. She's having a laugh. She's having a right joke. People will just up their pension payments a bit. People will move things around. People will move out of the country. It won't raise 307 million. I doubt it will raise 7. Anyway, she said she did not believe those people who are the backbone of our public service, or teachers or police officers, should see their tax rate increase. Well, they won't see their tax rate increase, but they will see the amount of tax they pay increase because they are drifting into the upper rates of tax. Now, you're not raising rates. You don't have the power to raise rates, but you can introduce bands, and that's exactly what you've done. That's what's screwing people, as these people drift upwards into the next band up. She says when public services need investment, and they do because of nearly 17 years of chronic underfunding by the SNP government, and they say they need protection from Tory cuts, these cuts being the biggest ever Barnett consequential payment in history. Hardly a cut. This government does believe that those with the broader shoulders should pay a higher rate of tax, and they're already paying the most, and they don't want to. They don't like it, and they will vote with their feet. They will run to the hills, they will hide their money, and you will see very, very little of it, Shona. Virtually none. Because people are cleverer than you. Hell, there are children cleverer. My dog is cleverer than Shona Robinson. I only have to show him 3 times. 3 repeats and he can learn. Doesn't matter how many times you tell her, she doesn't get it. Look at her, looking there, walking along, completely oblivious to the realities of the world in which she walks. In her mind, she's thinking of cartoon animals playing instruments. Honestly, what a thickie. Well, she's destroyed the economy. Well done, Shona. Well done. Watch how this comes back to bite you. And then the only thing you've got next time is, we didn't raise enough in taxes. Let's put taxes up and see if it works this time. She's mental. Anyway, there we go. Massive increase in unemployment as all the shops, pubs, clubs, restaurants and that start hitting the wall because there's no rate relief for them. That's going to cost you more, isn't it? And of course you're not going to get all that lovely income tax from it. Woman hasn't got a clue. Come on, Kate, do the decent thing. By close of play today, announce that you're going for it. Take him on. Take him on. Take her out. At least have someone with a brain in cabinet. I'm coming up. You know, somewhere in Scotland there's a little village and it's lost its idiot because Shona has decided to leave the village and go all the way to Edinburgh and stand in Holyrood and pretend that she knows what she's doing. But she obviously and clearly doesn't. This is not going to raise the 700 million she thinks it is. It won't raise half that. Half of it won't be raised. I reckon even more. I reckon some people will go. It will reduce the tax take massively. Meanwhile, we'll see the details tomorrow when we look at it. I guarantee there'll be massive cuts sweeping across the board, apart from one department. The one department that will get an increase will be independence and JB Hebben, and he'll have his little, circle jerk with all his chums in his department. Look at us, all our extra money, get the cakes and pies out. Because that's all they got in it. Independence and taxes. Nothing else. Nothing. How many millions have they wasted on legal fees for fighting all these cases? How many millions are wasted on private eyes? How many millions are wasted on spin doctors? How many millions are wasted on those foreign embassies? They've been safeguarded. 35 million for them. NHS? Nah. People can die. People are replaceable. But independence is forever. Hey. I shall stop there because, it's just pointless going on. She won't ever understand anything. I could appeal to you. Shona, love, go read a book. Go and read a book. But you won't, will you? Because you can't read. You're illiterate, innumerate, stupid, ignorant, and you never listen. You're so full of huffing your own farts that you will listen to no one. You daren't listen to anyone else because they'll tell you you're wrong. I'll stop there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. And next time we will have way, way more. But tomorrow morning, first video, I will do the budget. But there's another video to come this evening. So, that's fine. It's all about cars. Anyway, till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.